Oh yeah, Dave. This is one of my favorite ones. We were here a couple weeks ago. I'm excited for the rumble and tumble, buddy. So, how are you? How was your weekend?
Uh, good. So good that I forgot to unmute my mic there on the opening. So, how you doing? How's everybody going? Started off with a bang right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We do appreciate you joining us here each and every time we go live, whether it's myself, Darkside Dave, Postman Dan, KR Stolfless. You got Muth in the booth over there as well, Chris Legue, as well as Rick Hammond, Big Al over there too. So a big shout out to all the guys back at the Turn 3 Racing Network headquarters. Dan, another great night for us. We've got about 7 minutes or so, 6 minutes or so left here in the happy hour, and it looks like we've got a kind of an unfamiliar name at the top of the speed charts right now. Jamie Jessup, he's got his Ford Mustang sitting on top of the speed chart, so pretty interesting to see a newcomer up there in the top of the standings.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he found some stuff, maybe throughout the course of the week, doing some testing. Maybe found some extra speed somewhere. Rick Sebren's bringing up that second position there with a 45.5 there. Pretty good lap from him. Last week's winner. Good to see him finally getting victory lane, Dave.
Yeah, last week finally visiting victory lane. Took Sebren's all the way until I believe it was race number 5 last weekend, last Monday night, I should say. Before Sebren's was able to get to victory lane. So the drivers doing all they can to keep him out of the championship contention, but the Richard Petty of OP Racing not having any of it. He's going to stick around and try to have another shot at another championship title.
Yeah, I think I was doing my part there too to keep him out of that myself. So, you think we're going to see a first-time winner tonight? The car count seems to be a little down this evening, but several big names still on the list.
Yeah, I think we may see another new winner. We've had 5 winners so far in the 5 races that we've had this season here in the OP Racing on the Turn 3 Racing Network. So I look for another first-time winner for this season to go to victory lane, but I think it may be a familiar face that we see get to victory lane from last year. I'm not going to call any names out. I'll just let you speculate out there in the TV land. And, yeah, nice looking weather out there. Partly cloudy right now, about 78 degrees for these drivers. So looks like they've got some pretty sweet racing conditions out there, Dan. I wonder how the cars and drivers are feeling right now.
I imagine they're probably getting pretty relaxed, starting to get a little comfortable, get a couple drinks of water, getting those machines fine-tuned for a bumpy ride here today. We are at Legacy Daytona, so anything can happen.
That it can. So, I was sitting and I was thinking, what if we could speak to one of these drivers, see how they were feeling out there, and we're gonna see. Let's take a chance here in happy hour if we can't get in a word with last week's race winner, Rick Sebren's. It's Dave and Dan in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4.
Hey, buddy, you got your hands full, or are you good?
Well, I tell you what, the Alliance Motorsports Chevrolet, it's really good off the truck here, but we've just been fine-tuning a couple things in practice here. We're just kind of working on some bit stuff, and with Legacy Daytona, it's all about handling here, and we're just trying to get the handling on the longer run, and I got total faith that the crew will make the right adjustments here, and we'll get it tuned up, and we should be good for the race.
All right. Well, now that you got that car stopped in the pit box, does putting a race win in your back pocket coming into the remaining races here? We're about halfway through the regular season here. Does that give you any more confidence, or does that let you, I don't want to necessarily say kamikaze it, but you know what I mean, kind of go for broke when it's not necessarily necessary?
Well, I tell you what, it makes a huge difference when you can come out early in the season and get a win like that, because it just relieves the pressure a little bit, gives your opportunity to your team to maybe experiment a little bit and see if we can't pick up some speed somewhere. Whereas as competitive as it is in this series, you could have 13, 14 winners, and it could still come down to points. So you just want to make sure you find that happy medium, get those points that you need, and then also if you can steal a win, it feels good to relieve some of that pressure.
All right, man. Well, once again, congratulations on getting to victory lane last week. Before we let you go and get ready to go qualifying, you want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that car? All right, well, not sure if the audio cut out on us there or not, but either way, Sebren's pretty much almost right there on the top of the speed charts, Dan, sitting second. So looks like he's got a good car, working on some pit road things. So should be interesting.
Yeah, should be pretty good event. You know, we are at Legacy Daytona, so like we said earlier, anything can really happen here. You know, but just the tone of Rick's voice, you know, compared to last week when we spoke with him in Victory Lane, he's kind of changed a little bit. He sounds a little more relaxed, and you know, he's probably looking for some bonus points here. I think he's shifting his focus toward the you know, the standings toward the end of the year. So we'll just see what happens, see how it all shakes out.
Yeah, a lot of weight lifted when these drivers get to Victory Lane. They don't have to worry as much throughout the rest of the regular season. We're right at the halfway point here, race number 6 tonight at Legacy Daytona, and that's right out there in the chat. Bumpy roads, that is for sure. Kind of like driving a boat down there on that inside lane. Just, I think Darrell Waltrip said it before, porpoising. I don't know. Porpoising. I swear I've heard it on one of the television broadcasts before, or undulating was the other one that he liked to use as well. But anyways, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard that, but I've never heard that before. I'm gonna have to look this up.
I promise you, it's in a TV broadcast, probably a good 8 years ago or more. But I swear it was Waltrip that said it. You know, DW always gave us jewels.
Oh yeah,
always gave us jewels.
Oh yeah, gotta love old DW, man. He had some one-liners there that stuck in my head. So this is we come to the end of practice here and get ready to qualify.
Yeah, let's see who we've got out there on track. Looks like we've got a few drivers. Rick Sebrands, Rob Connors being one of the drivers out there on his up-to-speed lap for his qualifying. You'll see all these drivers, well, most of the time you'll see all these drivers as Rob Connors stops and resets. They'll get up there, they'll run the high line the first 2 laps or so, then you'll see them drop down to the bottom. So not going to be anything too abnormal here in qualifying as we watch the 8 of Cody Ober. He's, I don't know, probably about the 12th driver out there on track right now.
Yeah, quite a few drivers electing to go a little earlier here. You know, last week we saw a couple guys lay back. So, you know, Rick Sebrands being one of those guys, and he didn't qualify till late. So maybe some adjustments we're making to some setups here for qualifying. But, yeah, watching those guys get on the high line and then just dive that thing in the corner, man, it's pretty exciting here for qualifying.
Yeah, I mean, it's for restrictor plate racing, it's exciting, just period. I mean, the car really moves around way more than either other track, Talladega or the smoothed over, brand new, rescanned Daytona. It's just a little bit more of a driver track, if that makes any sense when it comes to plate racing, in my opinion. The car moves around a lot. It's bumpy. Bumps at the wrong time, get the car a little bit tail happy. So you got to be a wheelman here on the Legacy track. We'll see which one of these wheelmen can put it on the top of the speed charts right now. Looks like Ernie Williams goes to the top of the board with a 48.53.
Yeah, very good lap there by Ernie. Josh Milam coming in second so far with a 48.661 as Cody Ober pops him out of the second spot with a 48.6.
And Ober going to drop to that double yellow line. That's just what I was talking about. You'll see all these drivers up there next to that outside wall, almost scrubbing that outside wall. Then they'll drop down next to that double yellow line all the way through the corners, keeping the track as tight and short as possible when trying to keep that RPM up. So we'll look for some quicker times as Rick Sebrands goes to the top of the speed charts with a 28.27. Then here comes the kid with a 28.26. We're going to put him top of the speed chart right now.
That's about right around 0.3 faster than what we saw in practice. So these guys definitely not holding back.
Not holding back at all. And Cody Ober not able to jump any higher in the speed charts besides the 4th place. So let's go back now. Let's see if we can't focus in on James Mayer. He's out here getting his car up to speed. Les Levy, Alex Green also out on track. Randall Cobb joining them as well. We've only got maybe about 7 drivers that haven't turned in a time lap here in qualifying, so a little bit smaller of a field, and I think that's actually may hurt a few of these drivers in the point standings, Dan.
Yeah, it may. You know, we see Robert Duvendak up there at the top. You know, of course, he's in the race today, but he's holding a 21-point lead over Rick Seabrans, last week's winner. So, you know, that's why I was saying earlier, the point standings and Rick's shifting his focus to that. You know, a couple stage wins for Rick's here and leading a couple laps, and you know, maybe a unfortunate accident for Duvey there. We could see a shift in the point standings.
Yeah, and I think you're asking for a lot with that. If you look at the stats on the season so far, 5 top 10s for Robert Duvendak so far this season, 4 top 5s out of 5 races, and all 5 in the top 10. He's been absolutely on fire, but it is plate racing. When's that bug gonna bite him? And when that bug bites, it's usually 3-4 race, just, oh, get me out of here kind of feeling. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. It's bound to happen soon. Just, I don't know. Duvendak seems like he's just on a rail lately.
Yeah, you know, and like you said, you know, whenever that bug gets you, it's not a if, it's more of a win type thing. You know, and it could be a 1 race stretch, it could be a 5 race stretch. You know, hopefully for him, it doesn't happen at all. But you know, if and when situation, it's going to be win every time in restrictor plate racing, and just matter where you're sitting. You know, we've seen him do a lot of great things and be in the right place at the right time. So hopefully he can continue that momentum.
And a few drivers out there trying to get some momentum, trying to get up the speed chart a little bit. James Mayer back here, this 95 on screen's got a lot of ground to make up. About, what's that? I can't even tell right now. Brain not working with the math, but slotted in the 20th position. He's going to have to make up, I believe, right around 5/10, a half a second or so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's I don't know if a half a second in a lap. I don't know if he can do it, and he's not able to. Going to slot in to the 13th spot. Got a few drivers still out there. Dave Hunt out there on his time lap, as well as Daniel Holloway, and we're just about 4 minutes remaining here in qualifying. So, going to be interesting to see who's willing to go out here and try to take that top spot away from the kid, Logan Hilton, his mentor, so to speak. Not seeing Jimmy Crow out here tonight.
Yeah, it's kind of odd not to see the old master going to be pushing the student from the start here. I'm not really sure what to do or where to go with that.
Yeah, I don't know. That was, one of them squirrel thoughts for a second. You know how that goes with me sometimes. But, yeah. Anyways, qualifying closing in on the 3-minute remaining mark as we watch Dave Hunt in the 53 take it down the back stretch right there, hugging that double yellow line. Doesn't look like we've got anybody else out there qualifying. Daniel Holloway going to be finishing his second time lap here in just a second. So we'll have to see if he's able to make up a ton of ground as well. Both of those drivers having to make up at least a half a second in order to get inside the top 5 and take that top spot away. Can Hunt do it? Cutting across the apron, good enough for 7th, but not taking that top spot. Holloway not able to grab that pole position away either. So with all that being said, we'll step back for just a brief moment here. We'll leave the, well, let's just see if we can do it. We'll see how it all looks. Going to be a ton of graphics on screen, though, here, Dan, but let's see how this works out here. Not so shabby. Look at that. There you see your qualifying order over to the left-hand side. Your points coming into tonight's race, as we alluded to earlier, Dan. Robert Duveneck sitting there with 248 points. Rick Seabrand's last week's race winner sitting in second coming into tonight's race. Cody Ober has had a fire of a season so far. Right there sitting in the third spot. Josh Milam knocking on the door of the top 5. Logan Helton right there as well. So a lot of drivers up here in the point standings, very consistent so far this season.
Yeah, if you take a look at the bonus points section here, you guys can't see that on the broadcast here, but your top 5 guys have 40, 35 or over in bonus points. So that's stage wins, leading laps, things like that. So Travis Elliott sitting here in the 4th position, jumped up 2 spots from last week. He's got 37, so he can get him a stage win and be right up in the hunt for this championship.
Yeah, those stage wins in the bonus points are going to go a long way here, especially as we begin to count down to the end of the regular season. Tonight being race number 6, we're right at that halfway point in the regular season. So these drivers going to start to amp up the competition just a little bit more as the numbers start getting tighter and the time gets shorter. And as time is getting shorter on us here, we're going to have to step away for just a brief moment, pay some bills, then step down trackside for the national anthem. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Love the sound of those jets going over the racetrack. Drivers have made it to their cars. Starting grid rolling off of pit road behind that Chevy Silverado for the first time here tonight at the Legacy Daytona 250. Your starting lineup looks like this. Inside row number 1, the 63 of Logan Hilton, followed to his outside by the 7 of Josh Milam. Hunter Reynolds going to line up inside row number 2. Outside will be Rick Seabrand's row number 3. The 8 of Cody Ober and the 04 of Mark Mann. Row number 4, Dave Hunt and Randall Cobb. And rounding out your top 10, starting row number 5, Dan Harrington and Daniel Holloway.
On the inside of row 6, the 40 of Anthony English out to his outside, the 91 of Ernie Williams. Row 7 inside, the 35 of Doug Rice. On the outside, the 18 of Mark Vega. Inside, row 8, the 95 of James Meyer. Outside, the 28 of Derek Connolly. Row number 9, the 00 of Rob Connors. To his outside, the Wee Mac 51 of Travis Elliott. Row number 10, inside, the 62 of Les Levy. And the outside of row 10, Will Weber and the 24 machine.
Inside row number 11, the 84 of Aspen Belvin, followed by the 15 of Alex Green. David Booth gonna slot in 23rd, while Sean Stevens gonna line up in 24th. 25th will be Chase Berry. Jamie Jessup gonna be 39th. Dustin Barber 27th. 28th, Jimmy Reynolds. Robert Duvendak in the 10 gonna line up shotgun. Tail end of the field, and green flag flies here at Daytona Legacy for the first time here tonight on the OP Racing. For the OP Racing. Never mind. Dan, help.
In the OP Racing Super Speedway Series presented by 4X Graphics.
Thank you. My tongue would not let me do it at that point in time. I don't know why, but anyways, field side by side down the back stretch. We'll get this thing going, get it right here as Logan Hilton continues to lead the field. We've seen the kid up there in the front pretty much all season long. We've watched him lead a ton of laps, only visiting victory lane one time so far this season, though, Dan. So the kid hasn't always been able to keep it up front once he gets it there.
Yeah, he had a couple races ago, he had a string of bad luck where he was missing the whole front clip of that car and just kept himself in position, saved that fast repair toward the end of the race. And, unfortunately, I don't think he quite had the mojo to win that race, but he definitely, I believe he led a couple laps and, got himself up there, got some points for himself and for his team, and looking pretty solid so far.
And noticing something here in these shots being brought to you by Esteban. You can head down in the description, click on the link, grab up any of the camera packs that you like for the cars or the tracks. Does a fantastic job at every single angle that he's got. So big shout out to Esteban for providing a lot of the camera work here at the Turn 3 Racing Network. But I'm seeing two separate packs, and as I say that, they're still back there about a second or more off of this lead pack. I believe it's Dustin Barber back there about a second or so off of this lead pack. And when I say lead pack, Dan, that's about 20 drivers.
Yeah, about 20 or so drivers here running these guys around. The inside lane is obviously pretty bumpy and stuff, as you can see on the broadcast here, but Mark Mann is running about the 6th position. We always like to see that Batman up there, but I imagine this is part of the strategy here for these guys, Dave, kind of hanging back a little bit. What do you think?
The guys hanging back, I think it is part of the strategy. I think maybe they might be saving a little bit of fuel, maybe trying to stretch it out here, because these drivers are going to have to hit pit road. We say are while I'm doing the quotation marks. You can't see them, but they are gonna have to. You know how that goes if a caution comes out, but these guys have been known to stretch it and gamble early in the race because you can recover from that. If you run out of gas, go a lap down, you get your lap back at the end of the stage, things of that nature. So if you're gonna gamble, you do it in this first stage. So we'll see all types of strategies being thrown at us all season long here in stage number 1.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that play out last week. A couple of the drivers, just wanted to stay out, but unfortunately, the fuel window for them, fell off the mountain and had to come to pit road. But, man, I tell you, it's just it's great to see race cars out here today and watching these guys go 200 plus miles an hour and turn left. It's awesome.
Yeah, and what's even better is we've got about 6 or 7, I believe it's 6 actually, out there in that outside lane. being headed up by the 7 of Josh Milam, and they're just not going away. Most of the field looks like they're single file, just happy to be down there in that bottom lane, giving everybody a little bit of room, about a half a car or so between most of these drivers on that bottom lane. But that outside lane, you can see them, they're pushing, they're fighting to get their way to the front. Not content with just logging laps here as we work our way off of turn 2 here on lap number 6.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that outside lane is, I mean, they're hanging tough right now, but over a long stretch, puts a little more pressure on your outside right front tire. So they're not going to be able to hang with these guys for very long. Somebody's going to have to make a move and maybe try to get all these guys to come with them. And we see a few cars here hit pit road early.
Yeah, just like that, there's 5 drivers to pit road. Looks like it's going to be Dave Hunt, Randall Cobb, Rob Connors, Doug Rice, as well as Sean Stevens. So I believe that is a planned move there by the Buck Wild Racing stable. All those drivers, pretty much all of them coming out of Buck Wild Racing. So it looks like a team strategy, team calls being made early here at Daytona.
Yeah, I imagine we're going to see a lot of that here. A couple drivers from Alliance and Fuel Sim getting some wins early, so maybe going to try to push some of their other drivers, play the team game here.
And it looks like we've got more drivers coming to pit road. This time, Cody Ober, Daniel Holloway, Dan Harrington, Aspen Belvin, Travis Elliott on to pit road, Dustin Barber, Les Levy, Alex Green, Jimmy Reynolds, Chase Berry, a ton of drivers to pit road this time. So we've still got 14 drivers out there on track, but we've only got about 9 drivers now, Dan, right here within 1 second of each other. A little bit of a drop-off till you get back to that 10th place runner, Ernie Williams. There you see him off in the background, that black and yellow Chevy ZL1 Camaro leading the second pack of 5 drivers.
Yeah, and Ernie had a pretty nice solid run last week too, so I'm going to keep my eye on him for the duration of this race. I believe he's got some fireworks under the hood of that ZL1 Camaro.
Yeah, and it looks like we've got more drivers to pit road. Most of Alliance Motorsports bailing off the track right there, coming to pit road. That's going to leave Logan Helton, Hunter Reynolds out there leading the field still. And looks like a lot of team strategy being played here very early.
Yeah, these guys are figuring it out. I don't know what their statisticians or their mathematicians or whatever word you want to use, the eticians, I guess, are figuring out as far as fuel windows, caution windows. I mean, everything for me is just thrown to the wind, but they got to know something that we don't as Logan Helton makes a dive on the pit road.
And that is a lonely, lonely dive right there. David Booth, his teammate, coming to pit road, but well behind. About 3 or 4 seconds separated those 2 drivers when they hit pit road. So Helton going to be kind of caught off in no man's land when he makes his way back on the track. We'll have to wait and see how it all sorts out here as Hunter Reynolds continues to lead the field. Green flag racing since the drop of the green flag 10 laps ago, working their way into turn 3 once again. Hunter Reynolds being pushed by the 7 of Josh Milam. A little bit of a gap, about 5 or 6 cars back till you reach that Toyota Camry of Mark Vega, the 18, running strong very early. Then you've got Ernie Williams as well as Derek Connolly, Will Weber, and Robert Duveneck right there in the 7th spot. Jamie Jessup about 5 seconds off of your race leader. So he's struggling a little bit here. Logan Helton only about, looks like 35 seconds back now in the 9th position. So maybe not that bad for the kid after all.
Right, maybe not that bad at all. Maybe that's part of that statistician thing we were just talking about. A couple drivers changing paint schemes on us this week. Mark Vega rocking a new Kellogg's paint scheme. And also the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds running a very cool looking Under Armour paint scheme there. A little polished chrome action there.
Oh yeah, I had my eyeball on that one in happy hour, and it's a pretty sweet looking ride. I really do like that one.
I'm gonna have to get on the radio with him later and see who did that for him, because that is sharp. I think that'd look real good on a wing sprint car. How about that?
Maybe. And this green flag pit stop cycle has kind of carried on for about 4 or 5 laps now, so a big discrepancy on where the drivers are on track. We've got 8 drivers right here in this lead pack. Then it's about 36 or so seconds to get back to the kid Logan Hilton back there in the 9th place. He's now dropped a spot to Aspen Belvin. Looks like Travis Elliott, Cody Ober, all these drivers beginning to come back together back here in this second main first pack. Does that make sense? Because if these drivers up front pit, then these guys are the first pack, but right now they're the second one, but maybe the main one. Did I lose you? Did I lose y'all?
Yeah.
Did I lose y'all? I didn't lose me for once, so hey.
Oh, man. Yeah, a lot of these guys, with Hunter Reynolds and Josh Milam there have not pitted yet. So I imagine these guys are going to be right with that first and second lead pack here. Pack A, Pack B. I'm not even sure where I'm at right now.
Well, you know something I'm thinking about right now, because I'm watching this second pack being led by Aspen Belvin and Logan Hilton. They're double file for about, I don't know, a good 5 or 6 rows deep. So maybe these drivers in the front maybe just hoping that when this pack all comes back together behind them, maybe they're pushing a little bit harder because the stage is getting closer to the finish, and maybe something happens behind them, and that's going to play into their advantage with the ability to pit and still come back out on track and not really lose too much track position. Maybe that's a game here. Not quite sure, but either way, some great racing going on in the back and some great racing going on in the front. Right up here, Josh Milam continues to lead the race in the 7 as the field just hugs that double yellow line right now. Mark Vega sitting in second. That Kellogg's machine looking pretty sporty.
Yeah, he's been pretty sporty for the last couple weeks. He led quite a few laps week before and last week. So expect to see good things out of him through the rest of the season. Imagine he's feeling pretty confident in himself.
And a lot of these drivers got to be feeling pretty confident, not just with themselves, but with the cars. They're too wide all over the track, really, especially back there in that second pack, and no real issues. Everybody's still pushing. Everybody's still on those rear deck lids, giving them shots, bump trapping. You know how it is. It's a plate race, but everybody able to keep the car underneath them and keep it straight. So great job out there by all these drivers so far here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Compared to the first race of the season and the first race that we visited, the Legacy Daytona track, these guys are doing a whale of a bang-up job here handling these race cars.
And I'm starting to wonder, are these guys even going to pit here? But then I think back to where they were running on the track, and I don't think any of them really were in a saving mode at any point in time, Dan. So I don't know, running like this, they can make it to the end of lap 25, because that's when the end of stage number 1 is the completion of lap 25. I'm not sure these drivers have another 8 laps or so in their gas tank.
No, I don't think they do either. These guys are definitely banking on some kind of a, late stage caution here. And we've practically seen it before. And if the caution comes out, it basically freezes the field as far as running position goes. So maybe that's what Josh Milam is thinking here. Please caution kind of deal.
And I mean, if you were ever to do it, it'd be at the end of a stage, or the race win, sometimes as a driver. I mean, I've done it. Just come on, somebody do something and give this to me.
Right.
we say, I hate to get it like that, but in all reality, it's like, thank God I didn't shoot myself in the foot and lose that one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you definitely don't want to see anyone wreck their race car or tear up equipment or anything like that. But you're a race car driver. Your first thought is you and yourself and your team. You want to get as many points as you can, and stage win, second stage win, lead a couple laps, and then finally a race win. So you're rooting for yourself this whole time.
Absolutely, and with about 6 laps to go here, these drivers at the front of the field, they're rooting on their crew chief to be right on the fuel mileage. They're his number one fan right now, but I'm not sure it's gonna work out. But as we get closer to the end of the green flag pit cycle, as well as the end of stage number 1, and drivers dropping down off of the track, the entire front of the field drops to pit road. Looks like everybody gets into pit road pretty easily. And that means this second main, now first pack, is going to be being led by Logan Helton down there on the bottom. And as we've got about 5 laps remaining here, do want to take a minute to thank each and every one of you dropping by here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the cave, or the postman beside me, Dan the man right there, or any of the other fellas back at the Turn 3 Racing Network headquarters. We do appreciate each and every time you join us. If you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And these OP Racing Super Speedway guys, Dan, they've been battling side by side pretty much the entire first stage here. I mean, they were side by side until the pit cycles began. They all came back together and have been running side by side the entire time until they retook the lead of this race.
Yeah, they've done an excellent job so far of handling this legacy track here. It's a little bit better than what I expected compared to the first time we were here this season.
And it's a little bit of nerves and for some drivers, a little bit of freshness. Haven't really turned, I don't want to say the right amount of laps, but haven't turned enough laps in these cars in these races with some of these drivers. Most of the drivers making it here to the Monday Night Series. This is the big show. This is the big time for the OP Racing League here on the iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. But this is the biggest platform for OP Racing. They got to make your way through the Wednesday and Friday, Saturday leagues in order to be invited to come up here. So when you get brought up here, you got a lot of pressure on you, and you got to shine. I mean, so you don't have time to really lay back. We've seen the kid last year, Dan, I mean, absolutely come out here and be on fire, on point, week in and week out, and just be so calm, cool, and relaxed about it. So I mean, it's another level when you get to this kind of restrictor plate racing.
Yeah, and what the kid's doing, it shows his composure. He's definitely got the mark of a champion with as calm and cool, as collected as he is, like you said. And these are big guns. You got to basically race your way in. So that itself is an achievement to, like you said, go through the league and get invited. It's kind of the best of the best. The potential Hall of Fame type situation for anybody in this series.
Absolutely. If you get here, you get to the big show here on Monday night for the OP Racing Super Speedway Cup Series presented by 4X Graphics, then you've done something. You've made a name with for yourself with a lot of very, very talented drivers. And right now, Aspen Belvin making that outside lane work, but we see off of the corner exit, that lower line, that inside lane being led by Logan Helton. It comes back, but Belvin surges forward at the line right at the right time to take that lap and put it in his back pocket again. Now that outside lane really moving forward. Holloway right there on the bumper of Helton coming off of 2.
Yeah, it's going to be a drag race coming to the conclusion of lap 25 here. But Aspen is very, very strong on that backstretch with Travis Elliott giving him a good shove.
Yeah, and back a little bit further right here, about the 14th position. You'll see him right there, Rick Seabrans. He had a moment, was down there on the apron on the backstretch. Not quite sure what really happened to him, but losing a little bit of ground coming to take the last lap here in stage number 1. Who's got what it takes to put themselves at the top of the field and take the stage points away here? The kid digging hard on the bottom, but Belvin not going away on the top side. He's got help from Travis Elliott, I believe that is, in the 51 just behind him. Daniel Holloway, Dave Hunt right there. Are they going to make a move, or will they just stay packed up, lined up here, and try to push either Helton or Belvin to the stage win?
I think you pretty much got to stay lined up here. You don't want to make your move too early. I see a lot of getting ready to be door banging going on here. Guys kind of just step out line, and as it comes to conclusion of lap 25, and I believe your winner is Aspen Belvin for stage 1.
Yeah, that's what I'm believing, and I know sometimes our timing and scoring is a little bit off, but that was pretty close. But I believe that is gonna go to that 84 of Aspen Belvin. So the field gonna not necessarily pump the brakes, but they're gonna let off the gas here for just a brief moment. Get all caught up, calm down, get behind the Chevy Silverado pace truck here somewhere about they'll probably catch them somewhere right about turn number 1 or so. Here is what it looks like. Everybody will hit the reset button, come down pit road, get fresh tires and fuel, and get after it again.
Most important thing for me would be to make sure my crew chief knows to fill up my water bottle full of Gatorade.
Is that Gatorade or like Gatorade?
Like Gatorade.
Oh, it's that kind of Gatorade. That was
Right,
like the other end. Okay. All right. I went past that Gatorade booth about 4 staircases ago.
Huh. Are you tired? I don't like stairs.
Yeah, but these well, we don't have the escalators here tonight. That's right. They took them from us since we're back here at the Legacy, but those new little don't have to walk stairs at Daytona International Speedway, buddy. They are. Whew, that's a lifesaver.
Oh yeah. You can definitely burn some calories going up and down from the broadcast booth here. So if you need me to go get a hot dog, you have to give me a little bit of time.
All right. Well, being given the official word by race control, Aspen Belvin will take the win here in stage number 1, and as the entire field, that's right, the entire field comes down pit road to get fuel and tires, we're going to step away for a brief commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Back here, trackside, pace car lights are off. We're going to squeeze in a quick word with your stage number 1 winner. Aspen Belvin, how you doing, man? Great stage win. I know it's one to go. Want to give it a chance to grab the mic and shine for just a brief moment with your stage win. So the mic's all yours, buddy. Have at it.
Yeah, right now we got a really good car for today. The boys at the Vapid Yeet Racing Shop brought a really good machine for me in the 51. We're working to get our other crew up here and get them some points, and looking to have a good rest of my race.
All right, bud. Well, once again, congratulations on the stage win. Gonna put some bonus points in your back pocket, and good luck throughout the rest of the night, and look forward to maybe pulling you again here at the end of stage number 2. Good luck. Elbows up.
Appreciate it, fellas.
All right, so clarification, I guess, made right there. Vapid Yeet Racing. I was unsure. Vapid, vapid, I don't know, tomato, tomato, potato, potato.
Yep.
You know, that sort of thing. But anyways, Logan Helton getting the job done on pit road. He's going to walk. Well, not walk. He's going to roll to the front of the field. Is Chevy ZL1 Camaro going to take the green flag to begin stage number 2 here. Lap number 30 now underway. Outside lane, Travis Elliott not getting that great of a start. He's going to fall behind just a little bit. But, Dan, we've seen it happen time and time again. That outside lane just going to kind of give up a little bit and then gain a lot here. Probably when they're right around the entry of turn number 3. Look for that outside lane to get wound back up. And a very long train of cars down there on that inside lane.
Yeah, it just seems like that, that outside lane starts to get a really nice jump up into. Of course, running the outside lane, you have to have your momentum up. So apparently the momentum takes over on the outside of 2 and on the entry to 3 as we see Travis Elliott bringing in for the tri-oval here alongside Logan Helton with a big run.
Yeah, Logan Helton with a big run, but now Elliott with the push on the outside. Looks like he's going to clear the kid and drop to the bottom. Elevator to the bottom floor, please. Travis Elliott gonna take the lead, and that's gonna put Logan Helton just behind him. Rob Connors right here. Looks like Cody Ober right here in the mix, and a ton of drivers snaking their way down the backstretch. Sounded like somebody scraped the wall just a little bit there, and maybe scared a few of the drivers. Oh, big wiggle out front. That double O is all types of out of shape right now.
Yeah, he got loose coming in the middle of the first and second corner there, and it checked everybody behind him up, and it was like ducks to a pond, just flying away. Everybody had to make evasive maneuvers and give him plenty of room. So excellent driving by everybody behind the 00 Rob Connors there.
Yeah, and it looks like we've got about 4 or 5 drivers to pit road that time by Milam, Reynolds, Williams, Conley. A lot of moves being made out there on track. Will Weber also among the drivers to be on pit lane right now. And I see a little bit more wiggling out of these drivers. And Dan, when I look through some of this timing and scoring right now, I'm seeing a lot of sub 10-second pit stops. And that's going to mean these drivers either took just 2 tires, whether left or right, and just maybe a tank of fuel. And some of these drivers have 4 tires, so the grip level between the some of these drivers may be pretty substantial.
Yeah, absolutely. And being behind someone else with with not so fresh tires is probably not ideal, especially under full fuel load. That's probably why you're seeing a lot of bouncing around and stuff like that. That fuel sloshing around that tank, extra weight on the back of the car makes the nose a little bit lighter, so a little tougher to handle when you don't have fresh tires and a full fuel load.
Yeah, trying to look at the no, and we're not going to be able to see it with the pit strategy graphic. Not able to distinguish 2 tires from a 4-tire stop, so all the tires look about even, but timing and scoring will tell you the truth on that one. A 9-second stop, there's no way you're getting fuel and tires in 9 seconds. This isn't F1 or IndyCar, and I don't care what you feed your pit crew, you're not getting 4 tires in 9 seconds. Just not happening.
You know, a Formula One pit crew could do 4 pit stops in 9 seconds, but 5 lug nuts a tire, plus I think it's like 2.5 gallons a second. It's not even going to happen for in any situation at a restrictor plate race or any NASCAR track around the country.
Yeah, and I you may have heard me there for a minute with a ooh. It was getting pretty dicey up front, and it looks like we've got a driver. I believe that may be Rob Connors. A little bit of blinking action going on right now out of Connors, and that's right there up at the front. Hate to see that when it happens to a driver because they're usually asked to move on out of the way. And when you're running up there, you don't want it to happen, but just a last lap, Connors got super loose. Helton had to check up, got into him. He got super loose. He jumped to the outside. There was a lot of movement going on that last time around, but Connors looks to have stabilized a little bit here, so we'll continue green flag racing. Lap 36 out of the 100 scheduled here tonight at Legacy Daytona. End of stage number 2 will come at the completion of lap 50. So keep in mind these drivers may not be able to make it to the end of stage number 2 on one fuel stop. We've seen some drivers try to stretch it. They only got to within about 6 laps of the end of stage number 1, Dan, and maybe the caution and that little bit of padded lap, so to speak, before we went back green flag racing, maybe that a benefit for him, and maybe some of these drivers will try to stay out here in stage number 2.
It very well could be. I don't think you can save enough fuel under a caution lap. As much as fuel as these cars burn per lap, I just don't think there's enough. I believe we'll see 90% of the field at least make a pit stop in this stage.
Well, they don't call it a fan cam for nothing. There you see some great shots of some of the spectators out there as these drivers make their way around this 2.5-mile oval down here at Daytona Beach, Florida. A beautiful, beautiful facility. If you haven't been, you definitely have to make it. I've been fortunate enough to go 2 or 3 different times. Had the opportunity to be in the garage and things of that nature, Dan, and I actually walked from one end to the other. It might be 2.5 miles around, but it feels like about 10 from the middle of 3 and 4 to the middle of 1 and 2. Feels like forever.
I believe you. I've been to Talladega twice myself. I know we're not at Talladega this week, but I've never had the opportunity to go to Daytona. So maybe when we leave here and get lunch tomorrow, maybe we can go down to the beach.
Yeah, why not?
I think that's in our itinerary, isn't it? We can add that in.
I think so, and I think that business dinners are now discounted as well, so we'll have to look into that. I think the adult beverages have to be excluded from the main ticket, but, that's loopholes, gray areas, things of that nature. Another gray area right now is how many of these drivers are going to stay out. We've got about, I don't know, maybe close to 20 drivers right here in this long train of cars, all single file, a little bit of a gap back there around the 10th place position. Dan Harrington about 2/10 or so off of the back of Alex Green. So we've still got a long train of cars, but starting to see that second pack maybe developing back up just a little bit.
Yeah, we saw a nice run from Alex Green last week. I mentioned his name a couple times there at the middle of stage 2. So another strong run from him in that 15 machine. So maybe he's getting a little more comfortable. And looks like the second pack is kind of falling back a little bit here, but I don't know, maybe preparations for pit stops. I would say that's the correct call here.
I don't know. To me, you're sitting about 8th in the line right now. You're able to stay with the lead cars without really staying on the gas too much. Really save fuel, and you've got a few drivers maybe a little hungry behind you, so they're going to be pushing you a little bit more. I think maybe this is a design to ensure getting to the end of stage 2 without stopping. Maybe Alex Green, I think that may be the strategy. I can think all I want, but I'll have to wait to find out. But I think that's what we're going to see out of the 15 and maybe a few of these other drivers, maybe Rick Sebrands or your famous Hoosier Tire Purple back there. Maybe Doug Rice stays out and tries to get some stage points. I mean, it's very doable. We've only got 10 laps left here.
And I tell you what, I was just watching that 18 of Mark Vega. He hung out on the outside all by his lonesome, the Lone Ranger on the outside of the mountain range there for about 2.5 laps waiting for somebody to come up behind him. So I know he didn't save any fuel, and I know he hasn't pitted yet in this stage. But once again, Mark Vega holding his own on the outside lane. Now he's got the kid pushing him with a little help from the 77 of David Booth there. So making a huge run, but I believe he's going to have to pit one more time in this stage. Or at least once in this stage, excuse me.
Yeah, and for Vega, right now, he's staying on the lead lap right now. And so, I mean, that's kind of a... I don't want to say kind of his problem, because at the end of the stage, it should all work itself out for him. But if he goes a lap down right now, there's a slight chance, come a caution, if he pits, things of that nature, he may get stuck a lap down. So it's kind of a rough spot to be in right now at this point in time here at the end of stage number 2. I'm not sure how much I'd be racing up there in the front, but you've got Mark Mann. You got to worry about him. He's right behind you, 1 lap down on the scoring charts right behind you. So, I mean, what do? Do you get out of the way, or do you just try to keep yourself out there in front of the whole field?
You just have to keep yourself out there in front of the whole field. Unless there's a big caution, you have to, like I said last week, you have to choose the lesser of two evils. I mean, being a race car driver, you have to have the gumption to say, I can get my lap back if I can make it to the end of this stage on fuel. So, being in his shoes, I stay out. If I can run with the leaders, I'm going to do so. Hope for a caution, get my lap back, pit, and then make a run through the field.
And I guess that's why I was never fortunate enough to be a real, in real life race car driver, because all I've got is gumption, and I guarantee you we would not have a car at the end of each race. And even if we did, it would probably fail inspection. I'm just saying. Caution gonna come out here. Uh-oh. What has happened here? Looks like maybe Jimmy Reynolds, Derek Connolly may have been involved in this one. We'll take a look back here, and yeah, looks like that 28 machine roughed up quite a bit in the front. So we'll take a look back here, see what happened. Joining it a little bit late. The action already underway. Ooh, not quite sure how it all started, but the 28 taking a big brunt of that right there. So a tough break to see that happen. Looks like Jimmy Reynolds was involved as well. There you see his Under Armour machine down there next to that inside retaining wall. So tough break for 2 of our drivers, but they do have fast repairs in hand. So look for these 2 to have to maybe bite the bullet here and go ahead and use them.
Yeah, it looked like Jimmy Reynolds tried to give that driver coming up behind him there. I don't remember who that was. That was 28 Machine, Derek Conley. Was that who that was?
Yes, it was.
Look- Yeah, it looked like it tried to give him a little bit of room and maybe a miscommunication on the spotter side of things, and Conley got a little loose on trying to clear Reynolds there, and unfortunately got caught up.
And, very close to the end of the stage here, as it looks like Logan Helton going to pull onto pit road. Rick Seabrand's also to pit road. So I don't expect to see those drivers or any of the drivers that hit pit road, barring the ones that were caught up in that accident, Jimmy Reynolds as well as Derek Conley. But look for the drivers that hit pit road not to come down here at the end of the stage number 1. They'll more than likely stay out and just get some track position because, well, look who it is. It's already previous race winners, so, I mean, they're already in. They don't necessarily need that stage win.
Yeah. This is the strategy game, I mean, I can't think on the fly this far ahead to figure out what these guys need to do to get these points and things like that. But man, this is the cautions are a lot less coming through the middle of the season here, so that probably changes a lot of guys' strategy. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the thing here at Daytona, and I myself, I'm part of a group of guys, not just the Turn 3 Racing Network drivers, but part of also Next Gen Racing stable of drivers, Dirty Air Racing as well. And I always like to try to strategize with the guys, and we always end up, you know what, just do what's best for you at that point in time. At the end of the race, we'll try to get with each other, but if we can't, let's not screw anything up here. Because when cautions come out, I mean, it changes everything. Your whole race strategy has to change on the fly. So, shooting from the hip isn't always a bad thing.
Yeah, not at all. Especially when it comes to championship points. I mean, you got to think that you have to get lucky at some point in time. Especially with coming to, like we've had how many green, white, checkered finishes at the end of these races. And, I mean, the 53 car there of Dave Hunt was right there. He was not even in the picture until about 15 laps toward the end of the race last week. So these guys know what they need to do. It's just a matter of execution and all the cards falling into the right place for them to get this maximum amount of points they can from every single race.
Yeah, and trying to get every single thing they can. Look at a few of those drivers up front. Daniel Holloway, and I believe that is also Doug Rice back there in the 35, down there on the apron. So trying to be as tight as they can, save as much fuel as possible, because they're going to be cutting it close here, and we are going to get back green flag racing before the end of stage number 2, as the pace truck lights are out. So we'll go back green flag racing this time by. So we'll have pretty much a green-white checkered to the green-white checkered.
Right.
That is ironically weird that the stage-ending caution flag is actually a green-white checkered flag, and we're having kind of a green-white checkered scenario to get to it. It's that's a little freaky. I don't think I've ever seen that one. Anybody out there in the chat, or maybe KR, if somebody can get a hold of Mr. Stolfus, they can ask him. And pace car lights coming back on, so we won't have and they go right back out. Very interesting. All right, so maybe Johnny Pacer just wanting to hit the gas in that Chevy Silverado a little bit more.
And maybe he wants to run a few laps with these guys.
I mean, they do have to wear these things in a little bit, I guess. I don't know.
I wonder if there is like a minimum mileage rating for like a pace truck or something like that. I know we have that at Harley Davidson with our riding academy motorcycles, they have to have a minimum mileage put on them before they can go to the range. So we'll have to call somebody and find out.
I think the engines from these go into the Air Titans, actually. Greatest story ever. I'll do it real quick as the drivers are down the backstretch. In Charlotte, at Charlotte Motor Speedway, it was back when David Rudiman was driving the 00 at the time for Michael Waltrip Racing. Anyways, Coca-Cola 600 raining like crazy. They got the Titans out there trying the track. And there was a Chevy big block engine sitting in the back of a Toyota truck powering the dryers. It was the greatest thing ever. I do have a picture of it. I'll put it out on the OP Racing Facebook page once I find it, but I do have the evidence. It is absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
Who'd have thought? That's awesome.
But what's even better, what's more awesome, if that's a possibility, Pace Truck ducking off. Green flag flies. Green-white checkered situation here for the end of stage number 2. We're going to cross the line this time by take lap 49. So these drivers going to lay it all on the line for the stage win. Cody Ober, Daniel Holloway up there leading the inside lane. Ober with help from the 53 of Hunt, but falling back just a little bit here through the center of 1 and 2. Inside lane prevailing down the backstretch. Now drivers fanning out, getting out of the way. It looks like bailing out back through the rest of the field as Holloway and Ober continue to drag race into turn 3.
Yeah, but check out that outside line down the backstretch again with Cody Ober leading that train. That is just a flat-out run that they get coming off of 2.
This is going to be another close one, and it looks like Cody Ober going to edge it out at the line. And no, we've got one more lap. What am I talking about? Here I am thinking Ober had it in the bag with a big push from Hunt, but the inside lane now coming back. Holloway not having any of it. He's ready to drag race once again halfway down the backstretch.
Yeah, Ober got a little loose coming off 2 and didn't get quite the run he run it as Rice makes a big dive to the outside going into 3.
Big jump to the outside, trying to maybe help the momentum of that outside lane, but it looks like the inside is the place to be. Gonna come to the line, and Holloway gonna grab the win here at the end of stage number 2. That one was pretty cut and dry, about a half a car ahead of Ober at the line for Holloway, so great job by that 21 and his crew staying out, getting the job done. Got enough fuel. We'll see if he's got enough fuel to go all the way back around the track, or if he's going to have to take that EOL penalty for pitting too early. But heck of a job out there by your stage number 2 winner, driver of the Hershey Kisses machine. Check it out. It's all just the Hershey Kisses this week. No Reese's Cups out there tonight. Holloway doing a fine, fantastic job walking away with the win here in stage number 2.
I love Hershey Kisses. They're one of my favorites.
You know what? He's a stage winner now. We can try to dip our hands in the winnings here and start requesting, nay, demanding some Hershey Kisses in the booth. I would rather have pizza, but if you're content with Hershey Kisses, I'll put that on your list. No problem.
I'll give you 2 kisses for a slice of pizza.
No, you can just have the slice. You don't have to kiss me.
Oh, thanks, Dave. Appreciate that.
You can keep those. Social distancing still recognized here in the Turn 3 Racing Network booth, so no kisses allowed.
Oh, man.
And surprisingly, it looks like Holloway is going to have enough fuel to get back to pit road. I thought he may not have enough, but I'm guaranteeing you if we go on board with that 21 of Holloway, I guarantee you that car is pretty much shut off right now, just rolling through the center trying to get back to pit road.
Yeah, I bet you it's running on fumes right now.
He's going to be able to make it, so the gamble paying off for not just him, but a few of the other drivers. It is pit road open. Yes, it is. All the drivers at the front gonna come in, but let's keep our eye back here on Logan Hilton. Him and Rick Sebrands came down pit road there before that green-white checkered situation, and well, I'm wrong. Once again, they both come down pit road. Once again, looks like the 7 of Josh Milam is staying out. Derek Conley, Ernie Williams, Hunter Reynolds, Will Weber, all 5 of those drivers gonna stay out here at the end of stage number 2. So maybe some track position games being played here, or maybe just trying to get a point for leading a lap. Either way,
I like this move by Milam here.
sorry, I got this.
You're fine.
Man, I'm gonna be fired for this one. I didn't kiss KR. Where's this coming from, Roger? You're out of your mind. I looked over and seen it and was like, what? And just, anyways, my goodness.
I think we're all guilty of not reading chat, Roger, at some point in time.
Well, every time I do, you see what happens, squirrel.
Yeah.
You know, but whatever, it is what it is. Not all of us are as great as you, Mr. Muth. He's got the biggest smile on his big bald head right now. It's great. Love the guy. Anyways, yeah, maybe some track position games here being played. As I said, maybe just trying to steal a point. The 7 of Milam staying out right now. We'll have to see if these drivers coming to pit road. Doesn't look like they're going to. They're going to stay out for the track position. So with all that being said, we're going to step away for just a brief moment before we get back to green flag racing. So ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Back track side as the Chevy Silverado pace truck lights are off. We're getting set to go back green flag racing. The 21 of Daniel Holloway walked away with the win of stage number 2. And these drivers now geared up, ready to go. A little less than halfway in tonight's Legacy Daytona 250. So we've got a long night still ahead of us. A lot of things can happen. A lot of craziness can go down. A lot of things can change. We're going to have to wait and see who's able to take the top spot at the end of tonight's race. Pace truck makes the left-hand turn. Green flag in the air once again here at Legacy Daytona. Josh Milam with a great start on the inside, but Derek Conley right there. Drag race with Milam going into turn 1, and it looks like Hunter Reynolds going to give him a big push. Almost have him cleared through the center of 1 and 2. Logan Hilton right there with help as well.
That is crazy for those guys to get that big of a run off the restart and jamming that thing into 1 and 2 like that. They're going to have a huge run down the backstretch here heading into 3.
Yeah, that is what you call horsepower. Both of the drivers on the gas right when they needed to be. Big push. Both of them clear the inside lane and drop down to take over the lead of that inside lane. That's going to leave Logan Hilton somewhat high and dry. He's still got 6-7 cars out there, but it's going to take a little bit more time for that outside lane to get wound up enough to get up there and battle for the top spot. So great job by Connolly and Reynolds to get to the front of the field. And this is why I love each and every one of you out there on the YouTube side of things. Do appreciate you all joining us each and every time you do here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. That's right, KR's not here, so we got to take Dave's word for it. I absolutely agree with the Checkered Flag Motorsports home office, so appreciate you having a brother's back. I win, he loses. Yeah.
Yeah, he said. That's good. If you are Josh Milam right now, Dave, you have got to be licking your chops because that couldn't have worked. He stayed out under that caution after stage 2 there, and he pitted kind of late, so he's saving fuel right now, Dave. And I bet you want to go $100 that he only pits once.
I am not betting anything with you. You've got to quit that. You've got to stop.
I'm addicted.
Well, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell you on that one, but not gonna win or lose any money to me. That's for sure. Just not my thing. Don't like to do that. But to each his own.
That's true. Kinda keeping my eye on a couple guys here, seeing if there's anybody making some moves. Rick Sebring's back there in about the 9th, 10th spot, running that high line, about 4 cars deep on that outside line coming down the backstretch here. I think he's a lurking back there.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of these drivers lurking back here, and I tell you what, haven't done it yet tonight. I love it. You love it. Fans love it. What do you say? We mute the mics here just for a brief moment and head down trackside for a little bit of our turn 3s. Turn it up. much better than hearing 30 Cub cars wound up going around the racetrack here at Daytona International Speedway. Heck of a job out there by all the cameramen. Big shout out to Esteban for all the camera shots provided in some of the packs and cameras that he has. If you're interested in any camera packs for the tracks or cars here on iRacing.com, just head on down in the description, click the link. Promise you will not be disappointed. And a big shout out to each and every one of these drivers here, allowing us to put some of these onboard camera shots out there to bring you some of these great up close angles down there from the track. We almost ate a Ford emblem under our Turn It Up segment right there. That's how close these drivers are. That's how close the pushing, how hard the pushing is. And we've got drivers not giving up here in the front of the field, Dan. Looks like Travis Elliott, Derek Conley, Logan Helton, Hunter Reynolds, all none of them really satisfied. We've seen them move around a little bit, jockey a few positions, but pushing hard and heavy early here in this final segment.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are pretty content to kind of stay right where they are. Like we said earlier, Josh Milam in that 7 machine elected to kind of just stay out there. So he's going to, you're going to see a lot of these guys pit late and hope for the best for to make it to the end of the regularly scored session here, at 100 laps, and make a run for this checkered flag, man. This is good. This is going to get crazy with pit stops here in about probably 5-10 laps.
And there you can see best lap to the last lap for your race leader, Derek Conley, driver of the 28, about 0.8 of a second faster for his fastest lap. So looks like the speeds are slowing down just a little bit as we continue throughout the race evening here at Daytona International Speedway, the Legacy Daytona, here on iRacing.com, live on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Do want to thank each and every one of you for joining us out there on the YouTube side of things, whether you're a friend, family, friend, fan, or family. There you go. Sometimes I have to slow myself down for my mouth to keep up with my brain, but that's, yeah, okay, I thought it was just me, but all right. Now I don't feel so special. Thanks, Dan.
Well, I didn't want to make you feel unspecial, Dave. I mean, you're special to me.
See, this is just I'm gonna have to revoke your talking card, because see, first you wanted kisses, now I'm special to you. I'm not so sure about this. We're gonna have to look back at this contract. I don't know. I don't know about this.
You hired me for comedic relief. That's.
Oh no. Okay, I'll let you use that angle. That'll work. That'll work. Well, I mean, we've got the dumb angle with me and the comedic relief with you, so viewers should still be entertained. I mean, they got a great race on screen as well, so I mean, hey. I'm not George Carlin by any means, but I mean, hey, it's what it is.
Can we deem ourselves the Abbott and Costello of Turn 3 Racing Network?
I wouldn't even remotely try to take it that far, brother.
Oh, come on now.
Way in a different league than that. Oh, boy. All right. Well, lap 69 here. Drivers making their way down the backstretch. Still drag racing for the race lead. Derek Connolly has it right now, leading that inside lane. Long train of cars down there on the inside. Looks like we've got about 6, maybe 7 drivers out there on the outside lane, so it's not really going anywhere, kind of fizzling out, and like that, we've got 5 drivers hitting pit road this time by, as Travis Elliott gonna assume the race lead, and he's got the kid Logan Helton right behind him. Dave Hunt gonna be right there in third, and now this is just a long train of single file cars. Looks like we've got one driver out there kind of running a second lane, now gonna duck in line. So we've got I believe that's another about 15 to 17 car train, man. That's crazy.
Sorry, I had a little technical glitch there again.
And I see you over there. I see you over there talking it up with everybody else. Miss Maxine, how you doing? Haven't paid attention enough to see it over there on the screen. Thanks for joining us here. Good to see you each and every week. Yeah, one of our longtime viewers, Miss Maxine, checking in out there on the YouTube side of things, has been here pretty much all race long, pretty much every race. So it's the fans like her that we appreciate the most. They're always here supporting not just us but the drivers out there on track. So want to give a big shout out to Miss Maxine here tonight. But yeah, anyways, Travis Elliott still leading the field here. When will we see these drivers hit pit road? Most of them about right around that 20 lap range on their fuel right now, I believe. So yeah, green flag pit stops definitely right around the corner for the front of the field.
I believe if you don't see him this time, you'll see him next time for sure. It's cutting it pretty close here. We took the green flag at about lap 53. So 20, 21, 22 laps, under full speed here. I imagine you'll see quite a few guys come to pit road this time by.
Well, we'll see if you should have bet and gambled. And looks like you got some, but not all. Looks like it's about 4 drivers to hit pit road. Logan Helton, Dave Hunt, and Les Levy, as well as the 18 of Mark Vega. They're going to hit pit road this time by. That's going to leave Travis Elliott, Dan Harrington, Daniel Holloway, Randall Cobb, Rick Seabrands out there on track running as your top 5. And that Hershey Kiss machine of Holloway very close to where he was at the end of stage number 2, right there now running in the 3rd spot. Can he duplicate the end of stage 2 and walk away with a race win? We'll have to wait to find out, because here comes Seabrands with a big run as we've got about 5 or 6. Oh, and Ober heavy on the brakes, almost into the back end of, I believe, that is the 15 of Alex Green. That Cody Ober had to lock him up to avoid running into the back of him on the entry to pit road. So a big-time moment avoided there for the 8 of Ober.
Yeah, that's scary stuff there. 200 miles an hour down to, I think, pit road speed 60. So that's you miss it just by much, you unfortunately could collect somebody else.
Oh, and it looks like contact with a few drivers. Doug Rice involved. A few drivers going around, and Rice into the wall hard now after earlier contact. We'll take a look. Take a look back here on the Turn 3 Racing Network replay. See if we can't see that. Can't see what goes on from that angle, so we'll take another look back here. And there you see Rice already turned around. We'll try one more time, and not going to be able to see it, not going to be able to catch it just out of the camera view, unfortunately. But a big-time moment there, and that's going to put a twist on things here. Drivers already hit pit road, and this is going to open up that fuel window, Dan. Only about 26 laps remaining, and we've seen these drivers be able to stretch it when necessary to make it 25 laps on one take of fuel. So will this be the final stop?
It depends. History has shown that green, white, checkered is the way to go if you're a betting man for the end of these races. So if it goes clean and green all the way to the end of regulation, sure, these guys can make it on 25 laps. We saw that at the end of stage 2. So, but if we go green, white, checkered, you're not going to be able to make it.
Absolutely. So you already mentioned what I was gonna run with there is, yeah, they've got enough to make it to the end, but if there's a green, white, checkered, which we've seen quite a few green, white checkers this season, they're not going to have enough, but a few drivers looks like they might try to roll the dice a little bit here. The 51 of Travis Elliott going to stay out on track. Daniel Harrington going to stay on track as well. Chase Berry staying out on track. So a few drivers electing to stay out, pretty much banking on another caution coming out at some point in time in the race. So, and well, like you, I think I'd have to put some money down on this. As a matter of fact, double me down on at least one caution. Just off of race trends alone, we've seen some green-white checkers here. But, Dan, tonight we've had very clean racing. Only, this is our first actual caution of the evening. I mean, these drivers drove through stage number 1, almost through the end of stage number 2. I apologize. This is our second actual caution. But almost to the end of stage number 2 without any incidents. So very clean race so far tonight. We could be proved wrong, and this thing could go green to the end.
Absolutely. Anything's possible, but I'm going to go with history. I think we have, through the first 5 races here, we have an average of, let's like 2.2 green, white, checkered finishes for at least 2.2 of them per race so far. So I'm going to go with at least 1 green, white checker and maybe 2 more cautions.
All right. Well, I'm not betting, but we'll see if you're right.
I tell you what, I'm proud of our buddy Mark Mann here, who just hit pit road. He's having a much better week this week, rocking in the top 10 right now. So, well done, Mark. Well done, Batman.
And I believe at one point in time on my timing and scoring, I seen his name lit up in blue. So I believe at one point in time, Mark Mann was down a lap at one point in time in the race here tonight at Legacy Daytona, here for race number 6 in the OP Racing Super Speedway Cup Series presented by 4X Graphics. So a big Ironman award going to that 04 of Mark Mann as well. If I'm correct, you know, my eyes play tricks on me sometimes. So, but yeah, we'll try to catch up with him maybe post race if we have a moment and see if I was correct about that. But a lot of drivers fighting up here at the front of the field, trying to get a race win. Chase Berry down in the points right now. There you see him sitting in the 3rd place for this restart. So a lot of these drivers kind of letting it all hang out here as we get to the middle portion of this season, season number 5 for the OP Racing Super Speedway Cup Series presented to you by 4X Graphics. So Dan, a lot of these guys trying to secure their spot in the championship hunt.
Yes, sir, they are. Just want to give another little shout out here to Rob Connors. Has had a really solid race all race long.
Pace truck down and away, and green flag flies once again here at Daytona International Speedway. 23 laps now before we can crown a race winner here for race number 6 in the OP Racing Super Speedway Series presented to you by 4X Graphics. Big push out of that 5 machine. Barry with a big push on Elliott. That inside lane clears by, I believe, your top 3 cars all cleared. That outside lane, will Barry jump to lead the outside? Not gonna do it. Halfway down the backstretch, now that outside lane beginning to gain a little bit of ground. But Barry still has the chance to jump out there. Not going to do it. Going to stay tucked in line with that 51 of Travis Elliott.
A little bit of interesting thing about Chase Berry. He did not practice. He did not lay a qualifying time down. And he took an EOL penalty at the start of the race for a bad internet connection. So, and he's running right in the 2nd spot right now. So that just goes to show you that anything can happen with these restrictor plates. And if it's your day, it's your day. If not, sorry about you. Go back to the trailer.
Well, anybody that's been around for a while, and that's not a hit on you by any means, Dan, knows Chase Berry and knows what kind of a wheelman Chase is. and give him a moment to drive a little bit angry, or maybe with a little attitude. And Barry is one that usually ends up with the hot hand, and there you see him right now after overcoming quite a bit here tonight. Right there, as you said, Dan, running in the second position in a very comfortable spot because he can jump out to that outside lane anytime he wants right now, as your top two staying clear of the rest of the field, all double file behind him.
Yeah, absolutely. And then he's looking too. He's got a strong race car, and coming off of two there, he was kind of looking for a spot, and then that outside lane just kind of closed up on him. So he's gonna stay right where he's at behind Travis Elliott.
Yeah, Daniel Harrington got a great run and closed the gap and closed the door. The opportunity for Barry to jump out there and pull that switch is now passed as we cross the line this time by 20 laps remaining here tonight at Legacy Daytona for race number 6 in the OP Racing Super Speedway Cup Series, presented to you by 4X Graphic. Heck of a field up here at the front, I believe, all the way back through, what is that, about 21st? All packed up right here. I mean, the entire field is packed up pretty much with each other all the way back. 23 drivers right here in this pack, and we've got about 21 of them, if I'm not mistaken, right there at the about 1.5 seconds as we've got drivers hitting pit road. Oh, and hitting the cone is the 5 of Chase Berry. We'll have to wait and see if the 5 gets a cone violation, sliding into his box sideways, having to back up. Oh no, bad luck could be compounding for that 5 of Chase Berry on pit road.
There's the old announcer curse again. Hopefully it's not too bad for him, and maybe get away with it with some race control there. They'll give him a free pass.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, that could be a very, very big moment here late in the race. Under 20 laps to go. Going to cross the line to take 18 laps to go here tonight in the Legacy Daytona 250. And the front of this field beginning to take a familiar shape. Look at that driver on the outside all alone, but with a head of steam. Now going to slot in fourth car back. The kid found a way back to the front. He's now running in the fourth spot. The 00 of Rob Connors right behind him. Randall Cobb right here in the front as well. Doug Rice, Dave Hunt, Hunter Reynolds, Ernie Williams rounds out your top 10. And where did Batman go? Looks like Batman has fallen outside of the top 10, just outside of the top 15, and more drivers hit pit road. A ton of drivers hit pit road that time by. Looks like, oh my goodness, I don't know, somewhere around the 10 or close to 10 at least, hitting pit road that time by. Your top 7 all staying out on track, being led right now by that 40 of Anthony English.
Yeah, that 40 machine Anthony English is a great looking race car. Kind of reminds me of the Hot Wheels from back in the day. Getting a check in from Jimmy Crow, the master, to the student, the kid Helton there. Thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate you coming by, man. Good to see you. Sorry you're not racing this evening.
Yeah, big shout out, Jimmy. Glad to see you joining us here tonight, but a little sad that you're not joining us on track here tonight. Been great having you all season long so far. Look forward to seeing you next week when we head back to Talladega. I personally love Talladega. Very wide, very smooth, and it is very racy. And racy right now at the front of the field. James Mayer right there pushing on Anthony English. These drivers have a little bit of a cushion. I mean, it's a 4-car breakaway, really. 5 if you want to count Rick Seabrand's in the 4 right there. He is about a second and a half or so off Mark Mann, about 7/10 or so right off of Seabrand's. So, I mean, you don't necessarily have to kill it right now.
No, you don't. You can kind of let these pit stop cycles, work their bugs out, if you will, and kind of see where everybody shakes out. But we definitely know that Anthony English and James Meyer are going to have to pit one more time, so they'll relinquish the lead to that big pack of cars that we saw come to pit road about 2 or 3 laps ago. And I'm still counting on another caution, Dave, and we'll stack these guys up one more time and let them run and gun to the end.
Yeah, and I wonder which one of these drivers out there is trying to stretch it. As we said, when that caution came out, they were right on the edge of making it if they stopped then. Saving fuel, I don't know. Some of these drivers may be able to possibly stretch it. I mean, we've got some pretty smart guys out there, some really smart crew chiefs. We might see some of these drivers maybe attempt to stay out. Maybe Mark Mann, Robert Duvendak possibly. Haven't spoke about that 10 very much. Now he's inside the top 10, running in the 7th spot. 22 spots gained on the day for Duvendak right now. And he's only about 1.3 seconds off of your race leader. Oh, as a driver with a bit of a moment there. Looks like that may have been Travis Elliott. So tough break for that 51, I believe, or that may have been Randall Cobb. Not quite sure who that was down there on the apron. So a tough break there for one of our drivers here in the late stages of the race.
I did not see that, Dave. I apologize for that.
Yeah, and I couldn't make out the car number on the side, so I'm not quite sure who it was. But yeah, I mean that could have been a big time moment right there. As we've had drivers already take their pit stops, they more than likely would try to stay out. Who up here in the front of the field is gonna risk it for the biscuit and try to stay out there? I mean, it's gonna be a close call as the outside lane begins to surge forward just a little bit. Anthony English, your race leader, Logan Helton, James Mayer right there as well. Mayer stuck down on the inside right behind the 15 of Alex Green. Alex going down a lap here. Now looks like the front of the field going to drop down to the bottom. Mark Vega right there as well. So we've got some back markers mixed in with the front of the field. And could this come into play at the end of the race? Could one of these back markers, one of these lap down machines have an effect on the outcome?
Absolutely. I mean, they can affect it at any point in any time. I mean, not even in this lead pack either. You see a car coming through the end of the trial when they're trying to get on the racetrack and kind of had to duck back down underneath the double yellow line. I mean, anything like that can happen at any point in time. Somebody get loose going into a corner. Maybe the car's not handling so well and could bring out a caution. Maybe collect a couple of these guys up front. Anything could happen at any point in time.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to see pretty much anything that we could possibly imagine happen here in the next coming laps. Going to cross the line this time by to take just 10 laps to go here at Legacy Daytona for OP Racing Super Speedway Cup Series, presented to you by 4X Graphics. Race number 6 winding down for us, Dan. Been another great night of racing, a very clean night of racing. Are we going to see these drivers kind of keep the white gloves on? Or are they going to be a little more touchy-feely with the bumpers of these cup machines?
I tell you right now, the gloves are coming off here in about 8 laps. They'll keep it nice and squeaky clean, I hope, until lap 98, and then once the bell rings for coming to that white flag, we're gonna see some fireworks. Gloves are coming off, and there's your caution right there.
And there is the caution, and that is gonna change everything. It looks like Aspen Belvin, maybe Doug Rice, may have been involved in this latest one. So we'll take a look back here with Aspen Belvin, see what happened to him. Oh, and there you see Doug Rice. Oh, contact, more contact. Ooh, that looked pretty bad. We'll take a look here, see what happened to Doug. Oh, him, Aspen, a lot of drivers involved a little bit further in the field here. Ooh, that actually could have caught up a lot more drivers. Ooh, that is a heavy hit to that left front for Doug Rice.
Yeah, it looked like the 39 machine of Jamie Jessup got loose and then got down into the infield grass and almost saved it and got into the Dan Hunt there, and then everybody else went flying.
And my, oh my. Well, I think we have ourselves an unofficial green-white checkered before we get into our possible 3 official green-white checkered. Caution gonna fly with 9 laps to go, so pit road should open up this time by. Gonna give us 8, and with the cycle of lap down machines, things of that nature, I believe we'll go back green flag racing with maybe about 3 laps remaining, so it's not quite a green-white checkered, but might as well be.
Yeah. So if you're the guys up front here on this restart, you are contacting your trainer. You're taking your knuckles and getting them wrapped up, and telling your trainer not to even put your gloves on, because it's going to be a heavyweight battle right down to the wire.
Yeah, drive shafts, camshafts, wrenches, blow torches. I don't even know if they have those on pit. Yeah, actually they do, so they can get the tire readings. Blow torches, all types of stuff going to be flying at the end of this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to see some beating and banging going on here, because, you know, all race long we've seen these cars kind of bouncing up and down and wiggling around. And it's only going to get a lot worse. This is why we come to the Turn 3 Racing Network right here to watch all this drama unfold and watch these guys duke it out at 200 miles an hour at the Legacy Daytona Super Speedway.
Yeah, I mean the fans, they get their money's worth week in, week out. I don't want to say boring race, you know, with no cautions. I never want to label a race that, because there's still a lot of risky things going on out there. Yeah, we don't see cars flipping and tumbling, but that doesn't mean it's not a good race. We've seen side-by-side battles pretty much the entire night here for race number 6. So a great race, just without wrecking, you know, without the great catastrophes or chaos, carnage going on out there. So a lot of drivers in a very much better place tonight than what they have been in some previous races. And I think that's going to be what puts a new face in victory lane, is just the opportunity is going to be there for a handful of these drivers. And I think they're going to do what they have to do, regardless of who it's to put themselves into victory lane and to put themselves into the championship hunt.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you're gonna in the case of James Meyer here, you know, he was right up front last week, coming with about 20 laps to go, and he had a strong race car all race long, and just ended up getting into some trouble. He's a little further forward with a lot less race to go now, so hopefully these guys have enough fuel up front here. You know, we didn't see Anthony English pit or James Meyer pit. But you got Duvendak back there in the 10 machine, and Sebren's lurking, and man, woo!
Yeah, it's gonna be good, and you said a little bit more racing to go, and we're gonna have a little bit more than what I thought. Caution laps going by pretty quick here tonight, and it looks like we're set to go back green flag racing this time by. Field gonna get double file behind that Chevy Silverado. Your race leader gonna have the inside the 40 of Anthony English. Will have James Mayer to his outside, but then you've got the Alliance Motorsports duo right behind him. C Brands and Man lining up second row on the gas. Green flag flies. Anthony English with a good start. Robert Duvenek spins the tires just a little bit. Here comes Mayer and Man on the outside. English gets a good jump on Sebrands, but now Sebrands right back on that rear deck lid. Gonna look to jump outside. No, gonna stay there. They're gonna bring that outside lane back up to the front.
That outside lane's going to be a big factor here coming down this backstretch and coming to the checkered flag. Mark my words, Dave. Milam's right back in this thing. Cody Over's right back in this thing. Holloway, man, I tell you, this is going to be probably the craziest finish we've seen. If not, I'm probably going to go home.
Well, you know what I'm looking for, and it's something that we almost seen right there. I'm waiting for somebody to stick it 3 wide. We haven't really seen the 3 wide racing that we're going to see next week when we hit the high banks of Talladega or even the smooth over Daytona. So look for maybe one of these drivers to feel a little fresh, a little froggy, and possibly stick it 3 wide and catch some of these drivers sleeping.
I'm going to go ahead and say it's probably going to be Seabrans Rick Seabrans is going to be the guy to make that move. English is a little bit tight in the corner as he kind of drifts up a little bit. And Seabrans is going to stick his nose underneath there and bring Doobie right along with him.
Or, I mean, as teammates and Seabrans being last week's race winner, do you get some team communication to that 04 of Mark Mann? Hey, look, drop to the middle. You go there. I'll follow. I'll push you to the win. It's all still a possibility as we've got 4 laps remaining and drivers starting to get a little bit less hesitant with the moves. Driver right there behind Mark Mann looked like he was ready to make a jump. Looks like that's the 28 of Conley. Looked like he looked 3 wide there for a brief moment. So business definitely about to pick up as we'll come to just 3 laps remaining this time by.
Yeah, Connolly took a pretty big peek there underneath the left rear quarter panel of Mark Mann, and got fortunate that Mark didn't really get loose there and turn down into him.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is what plate racing is all about. Drivers getting strung out, back together, things of that nature. But look at this here, coming to the end, and it looks like Milam going through the grass there. I believe that may have been Josh Milam. Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
Went through the grass, able to keep it straight, keep it headed in the right direction. We stay. Green flag as Ernie Williams jumps to the outside. He's got the kid Logan Hilton in between them. Contact, and squirrely there for a moment. Hard into the outside wall goes Randall Cobb. Big wreck behind your race leaders. Popsicle sticks and caution flies. We will reset the field for our first attempt at a green-white checkered.
If you are Anthony English right now, you are buying a lottery ticket, a Powerball ticket, when you leave this racetrack, because he can, after this caution, he should definitely be able to make it on fuel.
Yeah, and back here, there you see the cars scattering all over the track. Randall Cobb involved. We'll see if we can't get a different look at it here. One more time, already see the drivers going around. Aspen Belvin involved, David Booth, Travis Elliott, Daniel Harrington, Sean Stevens. A lot of drivers involved in this late race incident. We'll have to see how many of them are able to continue. Looks like all of them going to be able to roll away from the accident. So looks like a few of them going to be scabbed up, but they'll heal up as Anthony English going to have the race lead. And, well, does anybody pit now? I mean, we're in that situation. Some of these drivers stayed out that last time, Dan, and who's got enough to make it here? Will we see anybody stumble on this restart?
I think that most of your drivers, other than your top 2 with Meyer and English, who I don't believe have pitted since 24 laps ago, but they've also had 2 cautions underneath their belt. So I think Anthony English has enough fuel for 1 green-white checkered here, and then everybody else should be able to make it on fuel regardless of how many green-white checkers we have. I think it's 3 for official, but
yeah, and looking at the pit counter right here, it looks like English and Mayer both with only 5 pits now make it 6 on the night. If they truly come to pit road, they're going to. But a few drivers going to stay out. It looks like Derek Conley going to roll the dice. Cody Ober, Hunter Reynolds, Daniel Holloway, all going to come down pit road. Ernie Williams going to stay out. Logan Helton staying out. Will Weber staying out. So your top 8 drivers now make it 9-10 drivers all staying on track. And it looks like just a splash and go for most of the field that did hit pit road that time by.
Yeah, I'm not quite. I understand what, unless Anthony was just absolutely out of fuel there. But we might see a first-time winner. These top 6, 7 cars here. None of these guys have won a race yet, except for Hunter Reynolds, I believe.
Well, I mean, maybe some of these drivers padding their fuel to make sure they've got enough. If we have another green-white checkered, some of these drivers may be in danger of not being able to. So we could see a big shakeup in the scoring charts again if we see another caution flag. But either way, we're going to have to do what the rest of the fans, friends, and family at home are going to have to do, and that's just wait it out and see what happens. So with that all being said, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break. We'll be right back with all your green flag racing action here to the end of the race for the OP Racing Super Speedway Cup, presented by 4X Graphics. As promised, back track side. Before we go back, green flag racing field double file. Pace car lights are out. I should say pace truck lights are out, so you know what that means. We'll get set to fire them off once again here from Daytona International Speedway, the Legacy Daytona here on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. And Dan, fireworks going off, coming to the end of the race. We find ourselves in a green-white checkered situation. The leaders had to hit pit road for some fuel. Anthony English gonna restart back in the 13th spot. We'll have to see how much he can make up, or if he's got what it takes to shock us all and walk away with a race win. Pace truck gonna duck off. We'll get set to go back. Green flag racing once again here at Daytona International Speedway. Derek Conley fires off well, but Ober with a good restart has the 21 of Holloway right there on his rear bumper, pushing, going into turn number 1.
You're going to see your 3 wide here coming into turn 3 on the backstretch. I almost want to guarantee it. It's going to happen.
And the kid Helton jumps from the top down to the bottom. A little bit of precarious move right there. I'm not sure dropping to the bottom is the move that I would have wanted to make at that point in time. But the kid dropped to the bottom. He's now I believe the 5th car in line on that inside lane, and that inside lane has absolutely took off. Ernie Williams looking to go to the outside, not going to be able to do it. We're going to come back to cross the line. Final lap, white flag flies here at Daytona International Speedway. Derek Conley still leading the field into turn 1. Ober almost sideways. Dave Hunt in the wall. cars going around behind the field. That's going to put a little bit of a stress on things here. Going a little blinky for a minute on us there. A lot of drivers involved in that latest incident. Now Helton jumping to the outside. The kid making some moves, but nowhere near the front right now. Here comes Connolly, Reynolds, and Williams off of turn 4, heading to the tri-oval. Who's going to take the win? And it looks like the 28 of Derek Connolly going to cross the line first with help from Hunter Reynolds, and Ernie Williams going to walk away in third.
Great race, boys. Good job.
Yeah, very, very good into the race. Fairly clean. Fairly clean. Dustin Barber had some issues. He hit pit road. Sean Stevens, David Booth, Chase Berry, Daniel Harrington, Josh Milam, all involved in that last lap incident. So about 5 drivers involved. Hate to see that when it happens, but that's just it's kind of plate racing. That's what happens.
That's what everybody kind of sits around and waits for, is that big one,
And it happened. But got to give credit where credit is due. Connolly had a great restart and took that to the bank and walked away with the race win. So we'll get set for our post-race interviews as we watch that 28 celebrate on track for just a brief moment. Looks like we've got things ready to go, so we're going to step away for just a moment. We'll be back with all your post-race interviews live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Backtrack side for your post-race interviews here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. we're going to see if we can't get a few words in with a few of the drivers out there on track, or not on track, I should say, after today's race. Looks like we've been able to catch up and dial up the 91 of Ernie Williams, walking away with a great finish here today at Daytona Legacy, walking away in the third spot. Ernie, you got your ears on, bud?
Gotcha.
Hey, my man, a heck of a finish out there for you, walking away with a third place finish. Did you think that's where you were going to end up, starting third car back on the restart?
Yeah, when we was all lined up, we had four of our four teammates all on the inside line. So I thought the way we was running throughout the race that when we all 4 or 5 of us got hooked up together, man, we was really, really fast. So I was really, really confident in us taking all four. We even said it before the cautions, or before the green flag come out on that last caution, that we was hold our line and let's take 1, 2, 3, 4 for sure.
Well,
But
man,
we had it in our heads that we could have done it. We hit our marks, all that good stuff, and it turned out exactly how we wanted it.
yeah, I mean, that is absolutely what you FSR drivers were able to do, walk away with that 1, 2, 3, 4. So, I mean, you got to feel good about the individual finish, but you got to also feel good about the team finish, walking away with supreme points here for FSR. Once again, Ernie, congratulations. Great job out there on a third place finish. Before we let you go, you want to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, or thank anybody on the side of that car?
Absolutely, man. Fuel Sim Racing team to do a good job. All that good stuff with them guys. I love working with them. Yeah, it's fun too. Tim Nichols from Lima, Ohio, with Tim's Dirt Track Simulators. You guys ever get around to any dirt track racing or anything like that? Your local track, we're usually around all over the world. It's a fun little time. It's got iRacing on it. We do some asphalt too every once in a while. And congratulations to Derek on those win. I know he wanted it, and Hunter for second. And like I said, man, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry we couldn't get Josh up there, but other than that, man, appreciate the broadcast from you guys, and Alex for putting up with us, man. I know sometimes it's hard. We get frustrated and stuff. So other than that, hopefully we'll see you next week there, bud.
All right, man. Well, we look forward to catching up with you at Talladega.
Thanks, sir.
All right, well, there you have it. A few final words from the driver walking away in that third position. And I believe now my good buddy, the postman's had a chance to catch up with the driver that finished in second.
I have, Dave. I'm down here with Hunter Reynolds. A fuel sim sweep of the podium, Hunter. You were strong all day. How you feeling right now, man?
I wouldn't say we were strong all day. We kind of struggled the early part of this race, but it feels good, man. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a tough thing to do with this crowd. So we're very satisfied over here in Fuel Sim Racing.
Right on, man. Well, give yourself where credit is due. You were pretty well in the front of the field there, top 10, 15, somewhere in there, giving yourself a good chance to make a run to the checkered flag here. When you were coming on that restart, was the only thing you were thinking about is let's just get this 1, 2, 3, 4?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I already have a win, and my only job was to just keep looking out the front windshield, don't check the back, and just push my buddy Derek to the win there. Which actually earlier I think we had a restart where it was us on the bottom again. We stayed out and we actually got the same run that we did earlier. So it was kind of foreshadowing there. We didn't know it at the time, but it feels great, man.
Awesome. Congratulations, man. That outside line was making some pretty heavy moves there. So I'm glad you guys all stuck together there. Congratulations to you for your podium finish. You've already got a win in the bag. Now you got another teammate with a win in the bag. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys have for the field when we head to Talladega next week. Congratulations again, my man.
Oh yes, sir. Thank you. We appreciate it. I'd like to thank all my buddies at FSR, Derek, Will, Josh, Ernie, for making this happen. We gotta stick together, keep it going. Let's see. Who else? You guys at Turn 3 do a great job up in the booth. And of course, all the people supporting and watching. We appreciate you guys.
Right on, buddy. Thank you. We'll see you next week at Talladega.
Yes, sir. See y'all.
All right, well, there you have it. Some few words from the driver finishing in the second position, and it looks like I may have moved the wrong people around. So we'll get that all worked out, straightened out Now it looks like we do have everything worked out. Now your race winner, that 28 of Derek Conley. Man, how you doing? How you feeling?
Hey guys, how's it going tonight?
Good, man. Not as good as you walking away with a race win, getting that Ford Mustang into victory lane, man. It's gotta feel good.
Yeah, it's. I'm glad that it's over. I'm glad we got the win. It definitely was not easy. It was a battle. I made tons of mistakes, ruined a couple of people's races. One of them on my team, one of them that I raced with in other series. So yeah, the win is nice. Still doesn't really make me feel too great about tonight's performance. I'll take the win, move on to the playoffs for the 5th year in a row. But it was a rough night.
Well, man, I mean, don't want to beat yourself up too much. I mean, it is plate racing. Things happen. Bumps go wrong. Timing gets wrong sometimes. It happens. You've been on the bad end of things sometimes. And whether you think fortunately or not, I'm going to say fortunately on the good side of things here tonight, things tipping your way on the scale, and you walk away with the race win. So you can't beat yourself too much about it. I mean, it's a race win. It is, it's a race win.
We'll still celebrate it like, it's a normal win. It was a pretty big team night, getting first, second, third, and fourth. That was pretty awesome. So yeah, we'll carry on and we'll try to keep this momentum going to next week.
All right, my man. Well, once again, big congratulations on your race win and taking your spot in the hunt for the championship by grabbing that race win. So before we let you go and celebrate through the night, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, or thank anybody on the side of that car?
As always, I want to thank Alex, Cody, Robert, for putting on the league. We all would not be here without them. I want to thank you all for broadcasting us every single Monday night and sticking with us. I want to thank Josh, Hunter, Will, Ernie, the best teammates I got out there, and everybody who comes to watch the streams. I know it's kind of late night sometimes for some people, but everybody that's here to watch us, we really appreciate it.
All right, well, there you have it. Final parting words from the driver walking away with the race win. Dan, not much for us to do back here on the production side of things. So first and foremost, I want to thank you for joining me here tonight in the booth. As always, it has been a heck of a pleasure. Want to give a big shout out to all the fans, friends, and family out there on the YouTube side of things. And as we get ready to count things down and wind things up, we'll begin to unplug as the music begins to play. That means there's only one thing left to do, and that's walk through your unofficial race results here tonight for the OP Racing Super Speedway presented by 4X Graphics. Walking away with the race win here in race number 6, the 28 of Derek Conley. Walking away in second, his teammate from FSR Motorsports, Hunter Reynolds. Ernie Williams gonna be in third. Fourth place, another Fuel Sim racing driver, Will Weber. Top 5 for Cody over in the 8 machine. Logan Helton gonna be good enough for 6th here tonight. 7th place will be Alex Green. Daniel Holloway in the 21 gonna finish in 8th. Rick Seabrans in the 4 in 9th, and rounding out your top 10, the 04 of Mark Mann.
Just missing the top 10 in the 11th position is the 40 of Anthony English. Following him up in the 12th position is the 10 of Robert Duvenbach, and 13th, the 39 of Jamie Jessup, 14th, the 18 of Mark Vega. Rounding out your top 15, the 95 of James Meyer. Top 16th position, 7 of Josh Milam, 17th, the 35 of Doug Rice, 18th, 53 of Dave Hunt, 19th, the 5 of Chase Berry. Rounding out your top 20, the 00 of Rob Connors.
The 27 of Sean Stevens gonna walk away in 21st. 22nd will go to Aspen Belvin. Les Levy gonna bring his 62 machine home in the 23rd spot, while Daniel Harrington gonna finish in 24th. 25th spot will go to the 6 of Dustin Barber. Randall Cobb gonna finish in 26th. 27th will be Travis Elliott, and the 77 of David Booth gonna finish in 28th. Rounding out the field here tonight in 29th will be the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds. So, race fans, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much all there is from us here at the Turn 3 Racing Network. Dan, once again, appreciate you joining me each week here to call some great racing action. And look forward to catching up with you back at Talladega when we hit the track in 1 week. And, well, with all that being said, stay safe, stay loved. Until then, we'll see you.